August 2022 recommendation. I hope everyone has been having a good month. I am, as the promise of multiple promotions is about to take place, so that's good. Good place, I guess. I started actually using my driver's permit to hopefully get my license soon, so my life's pretty headed in an okay direction, I guess. Yeah, for the yes section. Dr. Delirium, I don't know how to say that. The Edgewood experiments. This was sick. It's almost kind of hard to believe, but then again not surprising that our military tested on people and do despicable things and tried to cover it up. Conjuring Kesha. I adore Kesha, and I am so happy to see her doing well in this Ghost Hunter show about the paranormal. Kesha and her friends go to haunted places, and her reactions are the best. And I'm not big on the Ghost Hunter paranormal shows because they look kind of cringy to me, but I liked this Kesha one. Cooties! After eating an infected chicken nugget, a zombie virus goes through an elementary school and turns kids into zombies. I watched this just so I could literally see kids get thrown and hit, and I thought it was hilarious. Miss Marvel. First of all, I am loving the representation Marvel is bringing into their Marvel universe as of late. It's so refreshing and such a nice thing. I really like it. And loving the story and her character. I can't wait for her to be in the movie soon. I think she's going to be in a movie with Captain Marvel, so that's cool. The Knife Gate. Johnny Depp stars in this story about an evil manuscript written by the devil and a cult trying to awaken him. And Johnny Depp always shines, so winner. Fairfax. I'm not normally a fan of shows like this, kind of comedy at all, but I highly enjoyed this show. I feel like it has a deep message about wasting your life, chasing trends, and I very much liked it. The Belko Experiment. An experiment about human nature. It's tested because it's basically like a whole office gets under this experiment and people are locked in the building and they force them to kill each other, and they do. Grizzly Man. This was too tragic and sad. A man who has a special connection with bears wants to get closer to them, so through his years of filming with the bears, one day he doesn't get so lucky and he's eaten alive. It's very sad. Helluva Boss Season 2. The second season of this gem of a show has started, and we're finding out more about Blitz and Stola's backstory, and it's so precious. I cannot wait for more episodes. Don't Talk to Irene. I relate to this movie a lot as someone who was 220 pounds in junior high. I often felt like Irene and was bullied as well. Rana, an old classic that I'm just getting to because I'm always behind. A woman who's trying to find a group of teenagers who have already been eaten by the piranhas. She comes across a military facility that, of course, is testing on piranhas. The Boys. I had tried to watch this at one time and I couldn't get into it, but I tried it again and I actually enjoyed it. I'm not quite sure why I was able to enjoy it this time. My tastes do change, or I don't know, where I get accepted into new things. I don't know. The Most Hated Man on the Internet. I am very much on the internet side of this one because he was just a piece of garbage. Indian Predator, The Butcher of Delhi. I love serial killer documentaries, especially from other countries. It's so interesting to me because I might know lots about American serial killers, but very little about other countries, so it's fun to learn. Man vs. Bee. It's very straightforward. The show is about a man that's house sitting for a couple, and a bee gets in, and the house and slapstick ensues as he destroys the house to kill the bee. Shania Twain, Not Just a Girl. I loved her already, but this made me love her more. Don't Blame Karma. A girl believes she has terrible karma, but it's just been her all along, giving herself self-karma, I guess you could say. Resident Evil. So last month I tried to watch the Resident Evil movies. I only made it through the first one, but yeah, this series was good. And Billy and Jade, love their characters, amazing. All the Easter eggs were so good too. Last Princess. I believe this is a true story during the time where Japan was trying to colonize Korea. Age of Adeline. After a woman is thrown into a river and struck by lightning, she's eternal and can't die. She found love despite this, and she's precious. Like, she's such a sweet person. Memories of the Olive Palm. I don't know how to say that. This one takes place in Spain. This man has contacts or something that he's working for this guy who has a quest set up in the city with like VR technology. It's kind of new to this drama, so that's kind of all I got. It's kind of confusing. So it's taking place in a video game, but it's having real world consequences too. It's kind of confusing. Day Shift. This movie was incredible. Like, the aesthetic, the lore, and the thought that went into the vampires was amazing. And Jamie Foxx shined in this, and this movie's hilarious. Persuasion. This fourth wall breaking period piece is beautiful. Done with Dakota Johnson shining in this movie, and she was beautiful. Vacancy. A serial killer takes up home at a hotel and makes home movies of the murders that take place in the motel. I know it's confusing. Martha Mary May Marlene. A woman tries to recover from being in a cult, and Elizabeth Olsen shined in this. She-Hulk, attorney at law. This show is amazing. Literally, the first episode was so good. And when, in Hulk form, Jennifer is fine. Found something else I'm attracted to, I guess. And I was worried about the CGI in this, but it really looks fine. I'm so happy to see her character finally. And I'm hoping for a Matt Murdock appearance, in the show, so they can both be lawyers and just, I think it'd be cute. Prey. I've never been the biggest fan of the Predator movies, however, this one is like a prequel, and it's pretty good. Lightyear. First of all, I understood why this movie isn't exactly loved by everyone. Do I think the movie deserves the hate? No. But this movie wasn't a fun space movie like I expected it to be, since it's supposed to be based on the 90s movie Andy saw, which would consider me 90s cheese, and we did not get any 90s cheese at all. The story was honestly very sad. Like, I couldn't forget how sad the story was. I honestly expected it to be like Buzz Lightyear of the Star Command, because that show was so much better. Why didn't they do a story like that? Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge. Mortal Kombat is one of my favorite game series of all time, so I was happy to find this animated version, to be honest, basically the plot of the first movie in the 90s. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift? This adorable anime about working out at the gym, and it's hilarious and very educational, especially with good workout advice. Like, it literally everything they're saying is like genuinely good advice for if you want to start working out. So it's great. Batman, Death in the Family. I remember reading this comic, but seeing it animated was really cool, and the extra stories in it were cool too. So that's cool. Victoria's Secret, Angels and Demons. This was so interesting. It helps me understand why Victoria's Secret has made such a big turnaround with their marketing, which is a good thing given how they used to body shame and be a terrible company in my opinion. I'm glad to see they're turning around. Not okay. This movie was a great message about how we're all chasing fame, but also had a very flawed character that I actually really believe was a good person, and I actually liked her. She pretends to be a victim of a terrorist attack to become interesting because she was depressed. So she's obviously got some issues, but I thought her character was interesting. Now for the mess section, Rosemary's Baby. I prefer the original, but this miniseries definitely tried its hardest. Live is Life. A group of friends go on an adventure for a magical wish-giving flower. So, like, Tangled. Supergirl. This movie was cheese. Cringe. But it was made at the same time as the original Superman series. So this definitely didn't need to be done this badly. Because the original Superman series is actually pretty good, except for the fourth one. So it didn't need to be this bad. It was made at the same time. So, I don't know. Fullmetal Alchemist: The Revenge of Scar. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first one, but I thought they almost had it. But they didn't try to improve much from that first, so I don't know. And I saw that the third movie is coming out soon, and I'm done watching it. And I'll just stick to the original anime because it's amazing and perfect, so we'll just stick with that. Now in the no section, Marmaduke. God, this movie was bad. Its animation was the worst. It's so ugly, and the story is just it's so... I don't know. The physics in this movie are terrible. The plot is kind of just whatever. I don't know how they managed to take an internet creepypasta and make it mid. It had so much lore and games to work with, and still, they made up something that just didn't work. The Batman. This movie was so slow, and it didn't get a little good till the very, 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 very end. I don't know how DC managed to make Batman boring. Definitely my least favorite Batman. And this has nothing to do with the actor or anything. I don't mind when Batman keeps getting redone. It doesn't bother me. But I just didn't like this movie.
I got a dream. I got some dreams. Oh, somebody get me a glass because I just found me a tall drink of water.
Finish him!